What up? What up? What up? Welcome to another episode of 94 Feet with Coach JT. And do me a favor, please leave a like in the comment section. Let me know what you think as I continue to grow this podcast. Continue to connect good people, do good business, put on for the city, but also everybody in Sacramento, California, across the world today, man. Just do me a favor and hit the like button, subscribe, leave me some comments. Before I get to this intro, man, under the circumstances, I always got to show love, but respect, and due to the unforeseen, however you want to call it, last night that took place in my city, in our city. Um, just want to give my condolences to everybody out there who lost someone, who somebody got injured, even if who got scared, who was in that out there downtown last night, man. Just pray for all the businesses, all the people, all the families affected because it's life is important, and we should value life more. We should value others, and from my heart to yours to my guests that I'm going to introduce, they feel the same way. I'm sure, and just everybody in the city, my DJ. Shout out to DJ Eddie, man. Like I said, just prayers for everybody who's lost somebody or who's affected by that tragic incident last night in our city, man. Prayers going out, condolences and everything, man. Seriously, man. This is an interview that was very unexpected, but man, I'm glad I got this gentleman in the building today. Known this young man probably much half his life and pretty much half of mine. He's a Sacramento kid. This kid is currently, on his resume, he's been ranked number one at 132 pounds in 2018. He was ranked number two at 138 pounds in 2021. He's a one-time national champion. He's a three-time champion. But also, I mean, he's a friend. He's a little brother, a little homie, young man now. He's a good person. Shout out to the Powell family. Here in the studio live, we got Lorenzo, the Golden One Powell, along with his trainer. Can't forget that we cannot forget the man behind the scenes, but also in the ring with this young man, Marty Chima, man. So what's up, you guys? How you doing?
Good. Yourself?
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, doing great. Thank you.
Thanks for taking time out your busy schedule. I mean, so our background is lengthy, but also it originated from the basketball court and 94 feet on the show. It's the pressure you put on the court, the length of the basketball court, but also, man, it's just life in general. But I mean, for those who may not know you personally, right? Because they probably seen you grow up. A lot of people seen you grow up
Sure.
as Lil Renzo. You know what I mean? Give us a little bit about just growing up in Sacramento and what was that like for you at an early age, man? How was that?
Growing up in Sacramento was nice. I always had all my parents in the household. I came from a household. It was a lot of us. So we was pretty much a family that always stuck together. So, everybody think of Sacramento and they think of negative,
Mhm.
but there's negative everywhere you go.
Yes.
It's kind of like wrong place, wrong time.
Mhm.
That can happen anywhere. So yeah, growing up in Sacramento wasn't too bad at all, actually. It was actually pretty nice.
That's what's up. And you talk about a lot of your family members, man. How big was that family in the household, or just who you guys, or just the family in general that was always around? Because you guys rolled deep, no matter where y'all went.
In the house, it was at least 8 or 9 of us.
Big
For
family.
sure.
That's what's up. Um, let's talk about that. As far as that many siblings or family members in the house. As I know your older bro, both of them actually. Competition. What was that like growing up in a household where sports or just activities was highly recommended, expected, but just to compete, man? What was that like for you growing up and being one of the younger ones, having to go against the big dogs, big bros, stuff like that? How was that?
It was definitely nice. It always gave me like a reason to push even harder. But even as a kid, everybody always seen my work ethic. Like you said, other people say he was always the youngest out there with the older cats,
Mm-hmm.
trying to do everything they can do, if not more. So growing up with older siblings, different sports, same sports, some, it was definitely nice.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Being the small at the time or whatever, we talk challenges, right? What was the biggest challenge or something you had to overcome during those times of your early childhood age? Being like, man, I'm smaller than these dudes, but what are some things you remember that like, man, I know eventually I'm gonna get over this, but just give me some time.
Definitely trying to prove myself for sure. I remember when Gio's old Coach Zeb, I was always the littlest guy. He like, hey, you gotta slow down. One of these guys hit you or something, you'll get hurt. Like I used to run with them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Coach, nah, I got this. I was young, I was little. And I remember he used to always tell the players, if he finished his lap before y'all running all practice. I'm like,
Mhm.
man, I'm gonna show y'all I can do. I got what it take. I'm gonna do more than y'all can. Even as a youngin.
Yeah, putting the pressure on the older fellas,
For
man.
sure.
Man, talk about sports backgrounds, man. What were the sports you were? I mean, again, because you're still in that. How old are you right now?
19.
19 years old.
Yes, sir.
But your charisma, your aura, definitely of a well-groomed, well-mature young kid because people don't talk as good as you do that. But given early age, what are all the sports you put your hand in? Like what was things that caught your eye? Was it football, basketball? What were the main ones that was like, okay, I want to do that?
Yeah, for sure. Just basketball and football. I did other sports at school and stuff, but mainly like actually playing was basketball and football.
So in those both sports preferred, who are or what are the people that you may have looked up to or kind of wanted to mimic your game after during time? Because I mean, and you're 19, but you were in an era where there's a lot of basketball, like TV, high level at that point. Like,
Sure.
who were some people you want to emulate or looked up to?
For basketball, I would definitely say Dwayne Wade.
Okay.
I feel like he's
Yeah.
definitely slept on. We talk about basketball players or high level basketball players.
Yep.
He's never really brought up like that.
True.
And then for football, I would definitely say DeAnthony Thomas. He was always nice.
Fast.
Yes, sir.
Went to Oregon, right?
Yep,
Yeah. Okay.
Oregon Ducks.
That's what's up. Dang. Okay. So watching big bros play, put in work, even you trying to find your path in the sports world with those two sports. What was your workouts training like for you? Because I mean, right now in your career path now, unlimited access. But even then, what was your access to like training or working out? What was that like?
It was pretty much. I definitely didn't work as hard as I did now. But like I said, I don't think no sport requires the amount of work ethic or hard work as boxing. And I'm not just saying that to be biased because that's what I do and this is my passion.
Yeah.
But I was just going to football practice, basketball practice once a day, go home, do whatever. Now it's like we in the gym in the morning, back in the evening, and then at night we're back again. And it's not always hard work. Sometimes it's mentally, sometimes it's running. I also go to high yoga. I do a lot, but it's always boxing.
That's what's up.
Sure.
During high school, well, actually, as you matured to like get your feel to the sports, when did this feel for boxing start or come into play? Like, because that's one thing I don't remember it being talked about a lot. I mean, maybe heard him say you were doing it, but because if not, I would have probably been there. So I was like, I missed out because I mean, we was at the games together or vice versa, supporting the brothers. I'm like, I never knew that, and I was like, dang, I didn't know he put on the gloves. So when did that kind of feel or kind of interest like, I might want to do this? Because that's totally different from actually giving hits in football or giving giving blows in basketball. Now but you got to receive them too, or stay away. You try not to get hit.
For sure.
So when did that kind of be like something you had interest in?
It was kind of unexpected. It wasn't like I was doing football and what other sport can I do? It was actually for the football organization. We always had to set up a fireworks stand. So all the fireworks stands for 4th of July. Those were actually ran by football organizations.
Okay.
So we had one of them for the Southside Vikings, and I had some stable mates or teammates, however you want to call it, had already boxed with Coach Marty. And one day we was at the fireworks stand, but we were like, it was only 3 of us up there, or 2 of us up there, me and TJ, and TJ had already boxed with Coach Marty. I'm like, I don't want to be up here with all these old folks. I'm trying to, I want to go with y'all. So I asked my parents, they let me go to the gym. I go in the gym the first day. I didn't know nothing about boxing, but I thought I was going to work out. So then Coach had sat me down. He's like, I introduced myself, and then he was like, okay, this is what the gym, and I was looking at the gym. Basically gave me a tour of the gym, and then I sat down, and he was like, today I'm just going to have you watch. I'm like, I want to work out. And he's like, nah, just watch, and just see how everything goes and how it flows. So I'm watching. I see my boy TJ working out, and I tell him at the end of practice, I'm like, hey, coach, I want to do this. It's something I see myself doing. He's like, son, you you can't do this.
You got slow play this.
Yeah, for sure. You can't just jump into it. You come into football just to watch. And then I talked to him like, no, I'm ready to give up football or basketball for sure.
What age was this?
11 and a half. The first day I walked into the boxing gym, and he said,
so you say you're ready to give it up. And that instantly, that's the crazy part too. As an active as you were and still are, to stop doing those other things, which you were pretty good at, and you know what I mean. But no, that's in the finance of your passion or something that you're like, okay, this is me.
Yeah,
that's super crazy, man. How was the response when it was given to like the family, mom, dad, kind of like? Because I know they basketball, football, it's that how they go hard, man. Shout out to mom and dad, man, good people, man. Like I said, knowing them, like I said, half my life, man, and just really, and they supportive though too. But knowing that you were gonna shift your focus athletically, what was that like?
Dad was behind me, but mom and granny was kind of scared. They're like boxing, like
they want you to get hit
for sure.
No helmet on, right? They want baby getting the face messed up.
Yeah, they wasn't too behind it at first, but then coach had talked to them like, oh, come watch one of as we got later down the line, come watch one of his spars. And they watched my very first spar at the gym, and I actually did pretty good against the kid.
Okay.
And I would say I had the better hand. So then that's when they started getting on board, and then as we went on, they just got on board more and more.
So you said 11, pre-teen already. You're deciding to really put effort into something that a lot of kids don't do, or sacrifice things a lot of kids won't sacrifice. Do you ever feel like you were missing out on certain things?
Nah. No, sir.
That's crazy. All right, let's talk the schedule then. What was the grind like at 11, 12-year-old, 13, starting to really now focus on this as a career path or like option? Like, what was that like for you? I know outside of school, what was your day like?
Pretty much everybody said they want to be like Floyd. Everybody want to be like Floyd, but nobody puts the work in like him.
Yeah.
And then everybody see us now going to LA every week, traveling, um, training 2 or 3 times a day, just putting the extra hours in. But people think we just started doing that, but they don't know we've been doing that. Even when I started, that's what I was doing. It's just, I don't know. The moment I walked into the boxing gym, I just fell in love with it.
That's super dope.
So it's always been a hard work ethic.
Did kids ever be like, man, hey, come over with us? Was it easy to be like, no, I got something else to do? Or did you know what I mean? How did you handle those situations? Because I mean, it was a lot of stuff going on. Like, say you had the option to do other things, high school events, family events sometimes. But
For sure.
how was it? How did you defer or say, you know what I mean, separate yourself a little bit without people like, nah, not detaching from them, but separating because you want to chase, you're chasing a goal, a dream right now.
So I had some friends in school that would, oh no, you can go work out later, so come play basketball with us, come play football with us. No, that's not what I'm here for. That's not me no more. I also had some people, some actual fellow teammates and their parents try to bribe me back, like, oh, I'll give you shoes, I'll give you money to come back. But even at a young age, even at a young age, they couldn't bribe me back. And a young kid, they hear money and shoes, they ready to jump to it. But me, it was couldn't bribe me back.
I'm still trying to fathom the fact you're only 19, but where's your maturity level? And again, shout out to mom and dad because they are, you've been around some adults for a long time in different stages, but the way to just process things, speak collectively, and very super like, again, don't let the baby face fool you. You know what I'm saying? The face to me looks the same, but also I know you're a young man. Seeing you outside, it's been years since I seen you, bro. But you feel like the kid I know 10 years ago.
For sure.
But who do you kind of assess some of your demeanor to, or who do you mimic kind of just your daily going? Who would reflect on?
This man right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think for boxing, it doesn't just teach you how to fight. Depending on what gym you go to or who you with, the crowd, you become who you hang around, So, I mean, I was always like a hyper kid, and I was respectful, but, just changing the way I talk, the way I walk, my charisma, I got to give it to this man right here.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
As you shift into this full-time career business type mode in your life, what are some challenges that faced you at an early age that you could probably tell somebody? Because I'm sure, and I know some other kids, other boxers, people just interested in you and alone, knowing you, but that you face that you had to kind of deal with.
Some of the challenges I think we for surely overcome, like us together as a team, was like going to national tournaments early. So, like most kids, they'll get a lot of local fights, like one day fights, and then they go to like tournaments later down the line. We had got, I think, a couple of fights. It was
5.
Yeah, 4 or 5, 6, yeah. And then went straight to the nationals. Our first nationals, we won it. Then we was gonna fight for Team USA in Azerbaijan, which is like 2 hours past Russia internationally. Got canceled and stuff, but just showing people like I'm here. I can step up to the big stage and I'm still gonna be me. Like I'm still gonna shine under the lights. That was by far the biggest challenge that we overcame, but we didn't look at it as a challenge. So.
And you said you met Coach in 11
and a half.
11 and a half.
Yes, sir. It was 2014.
2014, almost 10 years ago.
July 1st, it'll be 8 years.
8 years. You did say that. So, Coach, what did you? Because to really even say, I'm gonna sit this. You got to sit and watch one the kid who wants to be in everything, who wants to. Is that something that's required for all of the guys anyway to come in? They have to be, because I'm a teacher, right? Teaching, but also like you gotta watch. I want to ask kids that, do you guys watch sports? Do you guys watch what you? Some they don't. They watch highlights, but no, if you can sit there and watch, because that's how you learn too, right?
Right.
Visually. Then we have a conversation. That's 2 ways to learn, right? And then you hear, you know what I mean? So putting all your 3 senses together, right? But how was your response, or what was your vibe like when you asked him to sit down and kind of that first time, knowing he probably wanted to jump in there? Because I know he probably would want to go in there and probably get to work.
Yeah.
How was that? How'd that go for you guys?
I had him sit down at the end of it was maybe an hour and a half practice. Coach, how do I sign up? No, you're a football star. I heard about him through the other kids. You're a football star. You're a basketball star.
Yeah.
That's you. You're just here to get in shape. And first day, he tells me, no, this is what I want to do.
That's crazy.
So he left. Next day, he brings his mom and dad. And
serious people.
Yeah, talking in the office.
I know mom was doing check off list, right? I know she wasn't going.
Yeah, and so I asked him a question straight up. Lorenzo, why boxing? Why? And he told me from what he's seen that very first day sitting in there and watching those other kids, everything's on me. I don't have to carry a team. At 11 and a half.
But and being an individual, but that's a major responsibility to do that training. And how many actually ask this question? How many 11-year-olds or young boxers that don't make it? I'm sure numbers are a lot, right?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot.
Very hard sport.
Right. How do you deal with parents?
How do
at
I
that
deal
age?
with parents?
Yes.
At that age? It's difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Every dad thinks their child's the next world champion. But this sport, you got all across the world, you got millions and millions of boys and girls, young men, young women trying to make it. How many of them make it? Very small percentage. How many of them make it to the top? Even smaller than that. This kid, the second day, first day I didn't really have him do anything, just sit and watch. Second day, there was another trainer that was helping me out at that time. And me and him looked at each other and didn't even need to say anything.
You already knew what's up.
Already knew.
That's different though.
Or it was different.
They come around different.
He's special.
Yeah.
He's special. Right now I take him to world-class gyms in LA and Vegas, all over. And that's what they ask me. That's what they tell me. They ask me, how many fights he has. The pros that he spars with, how many fights you got? And he'll be like, 30-something, 45. Amateur. He don't say amateur, 30, 40 fights. Pro, right? No, amateur. And they can't believe it.
So, and even that aspect, man, I've been definitely learning a lot more since before I knew he was boxing, but just definitely learning. But how difficult or how much work do you have to even put in to become a pro? Like how many fights, what's those numbers look like? Because I mean, I know some people's numbers are different, greater based upon what's like the numbers.
Some people think are 100 or more. A lot of the kids that have 100 or more fights, a lot of their fights are when they're 8, 9, 10 years old. And
but it's still counted though.
It's still counted.
Right.
It's still counted. Most of the kids kind of thrown in there and pushed in there. They don't really learn until they're a little older. Me and Lorenzo have kind of like what Kobe says or said in his interviews. The hours that we put in.
10,000 hours trying to clock it, right?
We're putting in 7-8 hours a day, like a full-time job.
I mean, but you have to be sharp, right?
You have to. Like, for example, yesterday we're down in LA.
I know that.
Wild card.
Yeah.
I put them maybe 20 rounds on the mitts, and a few of the coaches there, geez, how many rounds you guys gonna do? But that's what it takes. And it wasn't all hard works. A lot of it's mental. This sport, once you're in shape, you're in shape. Once you know boxing, you know boxing, but you're always learning. You never can stop learning. But it's the mental. When you take a good shot, how you gonna react? You're gonna keep your composure, or you're gonna fall apart. The sport is very mental, and this kid I've been doing this a long time. The most mental toughness I've ever seen.
And he's seen it. I mean, family's been through it. Brothers, we put his brother through. I mean, I know coach's brother, we try to put him in situations where but also play against always bigger and better kids. Their whole group that went to that school, his older brother's team, basketball, he knew, like, it don't matter, you still play through all that.
Right.
It's okay. And I respect that to those parents, too, of those guys, because they never question, never waver. They was like, no, y'all gonna learn. It'll benefit you later on. But also, I'm big on sports being a life teacher.
Yes. Outside,
you can put the glove down. I can put the coaching down. But how are you in community? How are you a good person? Stuff like that, right?
Like for example, ever since day one, I brought them up integrity, and you got to be a good person and speak well and in public or out of public, doesn't matter. Back in, you probably seen that back in October, I believe it was, he's running down the street on that purse. Yeah. Almost $4,000 cash. Yeah. How many people are going to return that nowadays?
Yeah. That's a big attribute to you, like I said, and his family, man, and it being embedded in them though too, but also you also got to do work on the inside to keep it that way, right? So we talk about like the mental health parts, right? And God knows we're in a different place as a community, as a nation, in mental health stuff and education. I'm teaching on school campus and just dealing with even sports, right? So what are if any practices do you, man, Zoe, kind of just work on to keep it? Because, bro, I mean, like, I love to work out and train too, but I'm not getting in the ring letting nobody swing on me, bro. So, but what do you work on just to keep yourself, one, as far as, because I mean, you could get tested physically, but also mentally, stuff like that too. So, how do you just kind of, just say, hey, what do you do, or who helps you get that outside of the yoga stuff? I know yoga kind of helps that too, but what else, anything else you do that you kind of keep your mind, your stability? Because I know it can't always be smooth sailing.
For sure. It's never nothing really negative in my head. Like I'm just a happy person, and I just keep boxing on my mind all day. So it ain't like my mind veers off somewhere else, and it's like, oh wait, hold on, I gotta recollect myself. It's like this is me. That's what I do. It's my life. I'm always thinking about how I can get better. Always thinking about listening more. What I could have did yesterday. The only I would say, and it's not negative, I would say just to kind of push me even more. Like if I get done with something, like if I get done with running, I could have threw another sprint in there. I could have went a little longer, just to get, just that extra work.
So, Coach,
yes,
how do you get him away from? Because you have to rehab and recover too. How hard is it to pull him out of stuff?
It's hard. It's hard, but I do it. Like after nationals, we go to nationals. Lorenzo, I don't want to see you for a week. He's at the gym.
I was gonna say you might not.
Okay,
crazy.
you came to the gym. You're not working out. You can help me run the classes. You can help me do this, but nothing physical. By say we get back Monday from out of town.
He didn't work his way back
Wednesday,
in there.
Yeah, he's no. You got to rest. You got to recover. But he listens to me very well. We communicate very well with each other, and
that trust and that bond, though. I mean, even any sports or coach, right? The buy-in, especially if you see results too. It always helps you if you're winning, you get good results, right?
Right.
But that foundation of it is laid whether you win or losing based upon, okay, we're still working together, we're pushing and stuff like that.
Right.
As far as you talked about that teaching, right? I don't know how many times you had opportunity to help or teach or facilitate, though. Mm-hmm. What is that aspect like? Because now you're on a different, as you know, now you get to see what it's like to be everybody, like parents or athletes go, oh, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I'm giving, come on this side. But what is that like for you too, being able to teach somebody else? Because, right, I'm a big fan of you're blessed to be a greater blessing, right? So you have skills, you have tools, right? But now you get to empower somebody else, and it hopes you kind of see like they might, oh dang, I showed them that little hook right there. Like, how does that feel for you?
Like you said, you get to say, oh, I showed them that. It feels great. It feels amazing. You see them do it, and then you work with them, day after day, and then they finally get the hang of. You always get better at something, but then they finally pick it up, and it's like, okay, you've been paying attention.
That's what's up.
So it feels good teaching too, for sure.
So I'm gonna ask this too: has anybody in the family? I know you're legalized, but they ain't try to test you in the process growing up, right? No. Let me see what little bro got, because I'm like, man. But I mean, and the thing about it though, bro, for me again, it's a blessing to see, because I always seen something and you didn't know what it was gonna be. I'm like, okay, where is it? And then I saw a couple years ago, I was like, Steve was like, that's Zoe. I said, what? Same face, but I'm like, okay, he's serious about this. Anybody out there listening though, man, like deciding early, what outside of you said you feeling it came to you though, but some people may not get that feeling, but they get in that mode and want to train. What are some things you would tell them to kind of focus on at an early age to just get better? I don't want to say be successful, just learn to get better though, at an early age. Anybody, because I mean, for me, boxing also helps like mental health as far as just focusing, working on strength, inner self, your core, your mind. But what would you tell them advice? Because it's not going to be easy though too. It's not just a wake up and I can do this type of thing.
It's definitely not going to be easy. The number one piece of advice I would give to anybody, not just for boxing, trying to do anything they want to put their mind to, is don't be okay with just doing enough.
Don't be okay with doing enough.
With just doing enough.
Because that's why you already said, I'm kind of do the extra one.
Exactly.
Do one more.
Do one more.
That's dope, man. Do one more. Okay. Before we get some, shout out to Loyalty makes royalty, and I got another little clothing thing going out, man. Just putting stuff out, man. So shout out to all the sponsors who help the show, who watch, all my viewers, man. Anybody who's bought a t-shirt, bought some merch, man, leave a like in the comment section. Also, I did bring a small for my man, but what's one of the homies, man? It's called Born to Lead. He's out of Fresno. I know it's candy colors, but I know you went to Sac High, but it's the one I had. But also, man, Born to Lead though, man, because I know just it's in you right now. A lot of people watching you, and I appreciate you, man. But let's talk. This your first time in a bout that counted. What was on your? If you can remember what it was like, what was that feeling like? Because I mean, I know you can spar, you can train, you can talk to coach, but now I actually have to step in this ring and defend myself and be aggressive. What was that like for you?
I feel like most kids, their first bout, no matter how long they've been training, it's always a difference between training, sparring, or fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like most kids get too jittery, they get nervous, and then they start like having negative thoughts in their head. With me, it was the opposite. I was like so hyped. Coach had to calm me down. Like, still remember the game plan, still remember what we did, and just go in there and be you and just listen.
Talking game plan, coach. I mean, like I said, different sports, but similar thing, right? So, is it reviewing tape, notes on people? Like, what is that process like to get ready for a bout against an opponent?
Oh yeah, Yeah, especially now at the national level. Yeah, me and Lorenzo will sit there and watch because it's bracketed, right?
Okay,
The
because those are
points
the tournaments, right?
bracketed.
Because I watched, I
Right.
think a year ago you were somewhere, and I watched Steve. You were online. I was watching it.
Right.
Whatever you think, I was like, okay, he's
Right.
moving up. I'm like, okay, I'm watching. I gotta watch. I'm like, I'm really watching it. I mean, I watch it,
Right.
but it's more so meaningful to watch somebody I know now. So I'm not missing. I'm like, okay, I'm like, he gotta fight again. I'm like, dang, okay.
You got to make weight every day and fight and win every day. You lose, you're out. So yeah, it's I watch. I record the kid, the two
The
boys that are
potential's
fighting,
right. Yes.
the winner that we're gonna fight the next day.
Okay.
I record it. I watch it all night. I don't sleep on them tournaments. I maybe get an hour a night. But
So-
yeah, it's a lot of watching. Me and Lorenzo will sit down and watch. We'll watch his fight from the previous night and tweak. You did this good. We got to correct this, or whatever it is, and make adjustments.
That's crazy. So when do you rest?
Whenever I can. Right now, it's all over the
Your
place.
go, right?
Yeah, 2 hours here, 3 hours here, hour here.
Because I'm just thinking as far as you want to bring your A game,
Yeah.
even in practice sparring, fight night too, but also you really have to be, because you're preparing him for that. So you got to go study more too. He can study with you, but he gets to try to, that's one thing again, people don't see that behind because your job's not done.
Can I add to that?
Yeah, for sure.
In any sport, the coaches want the players focused.
Right.
You got to get your rest. You got to do this. It's got to be the same. Right now, the level that Lorenzo's at and the guys that he just got out of camp with, Virgil Ortiz, 18-0, 18 knockouts. We're sparring Victor Postol. We're sparring these former or future or current world champions. I have to be just as much, or if not more, focused than Lorenzo. For example, sparring at Freddie Roach's. I got Freddie Roach and Marvin Samudio or Pepe Riley, whoever he has in the corner with him.
Right.
They're making adjustments. I got to make those adjustments. I got to be on my A game just as well as Lorenzo, and he's got to listen to me, and I got to listen to him. And
the communication is everything, right? I
And
mean,
then-
and that's an all-time high priority communication sport, because you have to make split decisions, but also in the mix of a bout, you have to be able to hear voice over everybody else. Right. Pause. Ain't no pause. Not till that bell ring. That's a quick one too, right? So you can't be like, what? No.
Yeah.
So I mean, how long would it take? Did it take you guys think to really get you guys' communication clicking once you started? Yeah.
Day one.
That's crazy.
Day one. The chemistry me and this kid have right here.
It's different.
Yeah, it's like father and son. Even I'd say even greater than father and son. It's we don't even got to talk no more.
And that's how you know, right? That's how you know you're almost on the same page. You're a cohesive unit.
Right. He could be sparring in it sparring with, for example, when he was sparring with Virgil Ortiz, he's in sparring. He's looking at me in a sparring, and we'll make eye contact real quick. He knows what I want.
Do it.
He knows what I want.
But that's those hours, right? Those hours clocked.
Yeah.
Where we know, okay, now I just verbal, visual, like I'll give you some signs.
And he calls it that 1%. That's what he calls it.
Oh no,
That 1%.
It come around. I mean, I talk about a couple of teammates I may have in college played, or like to this day, we still whatever. If we got on the court, we know what it is.
Yeah.
But we played so many hours together. We run so many plays the same way or the same set or no. Right. It's like I just gotta look at my boy and that's it. So that's what's up. So let me ask you, man, coming from here, being who you said, the little one around hanging out, but also when you first walked to the gym, now outside of you doing boxing, but now, bro, for real, traveling, competing, seeing the world, was it something you already knew right then was gonna take place? Initially?
I didn't from the jump. No, I didn't initially. No, I didn't know that was going to take place. But I knew, whatever you want to do in life, you got to work hard. You can't cut corners. You got to give it your all. And coach tells me every day, what you get in sport is what the sport is going to give you. And I'm pretty sure that's what every other sport too is. Just this sport's one of the sports that you're not going to get away with stuff. You got somebody across from you trying to knock your head off. It's you and your coach and the rest of your team. But at the end of the day, it's just you in that ring, you and the other guy. So I didn't know, but as the work started coming in, we start progressing, winning, going, sparring different pros, getting in different training camps. It definitely, I definitely started to see like, okay, the hard work starting to pay off. And coach another thing he tells me every day is you're depositing money in the bank. Every day you work, it's money to be deposited in the bank.
Now the check when it cash, that's the only thing, right? You don't know when. But if you're making deposit when that thing comes,
for sure,
that direct deposit, that hit, they ain't gonna hit. We can sit back, we can enjoy that. How does it feel for you, man, just to represent that the last name of the family? I mean, it's big family, man. Like I said, y'all run deep, but y'all support each other. But also like, people rocking with you though, bro. But also you got a chip on your shoulder too, though, right? Because you want to put the name on the map for real. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. I won't say to carry the family, but to kind of carry the family because My brothers and them, they're great athletes.
Yeah.
You know, might have had a bump in the road to where they couldn't overcome the
Right.
challenges like we said earlier. So then they're still doing good and stuff. But
Yeah.
you know, to actually see my older siblings' mistakes and to overcome that, like, okay, now I know what not to do.
Yes.
They've kind of paved the way for me.
Well, and you know, I know they poured back into you, like, hey, you pay attention to what mom and dad tell, but I know you paying attention. But I know they were like, hey, bro, this is what you gotta look out for.
Exactly.
This is what I didn't do, but as it should be, right? We talked about that offline before stuff's going on. If we would just give back and mentorship and guide a little better, like,
For
and
sure.
tell people they could avoid some of these issues and these problems, man. But I also think on the other hand, it's dope, man, because you are working for what you are putting your deposit in, right? So.
Yes, sir.
Anybody who has that last name or knows, they probably like, hey man, it's not just you. You everybody riding
Yeah.
with you, you know what I mean? So that's the dopest thing. Traveling. I mean, you travel as a younger, we did a little travel, but now to move at a different scale, traveling and kind of this is your business and your career wise. That do you get tired of the planes and up and down and moving?
No.
No, nah, you cool.
Can't.
Okay, who is the biggest or most influential boxer you've met so far in your career?
Outside of myself,
Yeah, outside of yourself.
I would say Shakur Stevenson.
Man, hey, I like the young buck. Definitely do. I like his vibe too, but
Yeah.
he's a workaholic.
Yeah,
I see him workaholic, but I like he's very locked in and focused. I like
For
Shakur,
sure.
and he's tough with him. He's
we-
cold in there.
For sure. We actually sparred him when we was ranked number 1 in the U.S. and we had went to at the end of 2017, and we went to the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. I think it was February of 2018 or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
We actually got a couple rounds in. And
So how old is he?
23, 24.
So
Yeah.
you're not like you're getting ready to hit this next little phase where those guys are in that. So like Shakur, who else is he kind of young? What are any other young ones like that? 23 is what about the kid from Baltimore, man?
Oh, Javante Davis.
Javante,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
about
And
Tank's
he's-
about 25,
he's a
maybe
little
a little older.
He's older now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, but I've been like I said, I've been with the last 2 years. I've been more locked in on like the up and coming and the I've been watching that a little bit. I was watching because I'm like, okay, now where is this going to fit in? Now I'm trying to think like just down the picture, like where am I going to see his first little thing at? When you're in the ring with somebody like that, though, I mean, outside of you knowing you the dude,
Mm-hmm.
and coach, you can also attest to this too, though. Got to prove a point. You out there to let them know, like,
Yeah.
I'm in this thing.
Yeah, but you know, it's the same as you should show everybody else. You don't want to drop to nobody level. So just because you're in there with a guy that's at a higher level or who has more experience or who can probably pick up on things quicker than you can and stuff, you know, it's don't be in there losing your composure, like, or don't get too nervous. You know, just be you. Listen.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Like I tell them, it doesn't matter who you're in there with.
Mhm.
Like Shakur, Virgil Ortiz, Victor Postol, whoever you're in there with, learn off of them because they got more experience than you. They're pro. Learn off them. If they do something and they hit you with the shot,
You got to note
figure
that,
it
like,
out.
okay,
Do it back to them.
right.
Try what they do on you. Try it on them. That's how you level up and you get better.
That's what's up, man. Also, guys, shout out the boxing, Danger Zone Boxing, man. Make sure you guys
Thank
tap in, man. Like I
Sir.
said, I was telling Zoe, and I'm gonna she's probably watching now. She gonna watch the shout out to Steph, man. Did take care of the braids, man. She said she saw the young fella years ago, knew he was gonna be good. She was like, she was supporting you. She was happy to see you gonna on the show. Shout out to braids by Steph, man. If y'all need your braids done, tap in, man. She got bars for real. I'm just telling you. But yeah, she was definitely she was proud of you, man. She saw you back then, and she was gonna be watching, man. So like I said, you never know, bro. That's one thing about the show and this space right now. It's like, man, we never know who may be inspired or somebody who may actually be like, oh, like I said, knowing you for years, like I'm glad to get back in contact with you or see you, man, and follow you along the way right now, man, and see your journey. So pre-game or locker room, everybody got their stuff, man. What's in your headphones or what's kind of things you do to get that? Cause like I said, man, it's just different. I couldn't imagine what the hell I'm about to go out here in this ring and somebody's gonna try to. How do you prepare? But so what gets you in that mode, or what are you doing pre-fight, headphone music or reading or anything like that?
Yeah. So while I'm getting wrapped up, I listen to music. You know, my favorite
What you
artist, Rod Wave. You know,
Okay, I got a couple of my kids in high school. They like
For
Rod
sure.
Wave. He like, man, shout out to J Rock, man, Jalen Vidal. He like, coach, man, you sleeping on Rod Wave, man.
For
So
sure,
okay,
go with himself. But when it's time to talk and the hand wraps is over with, the earphones come out. You know, it's just us going over the game plan. You know, and me telling myself in my head, you know, you've been here before. All the hard work is paying off. You know, so just get in there and show for it.
that's definitely dope, Coach. I mean, you spend time, lack of sleep. I understand it probably comes from within, but where do you find the energy at after a long day of training or days of training, weeks of training, night preparing video to still be at your to you're gonna give your effort, right? But to be at your best on that fight day. What do you do to get ready that day or during that process?
I don't listen to music. I just focus on, I need to be the best me for
For
this
him.
kid. Yes.
That's for
I'm
sure.
responsible for, he's in that ring. I'm responsible for what happens. I'm responsible for making the adjustments and telling him, seeing everything, having him, instruct him to make the adjustments and what to do. You're doing great. But then I give him a little rope, a little leeway on that leash to where if you see something, do it. If you see something in there, take it. You're the one who's in the ring. But mine is just watching videos, tape, going over the fight in my head. Just studying the other person.
How long have you been doing this?
Training, coach at 95, 96.
What made you get your foot in that realm? What interests you? What sport? Did you box prior to training
As
fighting?
an amateur,
Okay.
As an amateur, trained, sparred a lot of guys. Nonito Denier, I sparred Rogelio Castaneda, just pros from around Sacramento. Sparred a lot, trained, but kind of like from day one where Lorenzo knew, hey, I want to be a fighter. I knew I want to be a teacher.
Right.
So with my old trainer, Don Conley, I give all my credit of what I know and what I've done with Lorenzo to him.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. But I told him I wanna do what you do.
Dope.
And I just, for 4 or 5 years, I just soaked everything I could off of him before he retired.
Took it in, study.
And then I volunteered at that gym from 1999 when Don retired till 2009 when it shut down.
So people overlook that volunteer part. Not a year, 10 years.
Yeah, well, altogether probably 14.
Of just giving your time, though. You know what I mean? For something else or somebody else.
Right.
Somebody else, something. It wasn't a regular full paycheck. If you got something, but you were volunteering because of your feeling for the game, for the sport, for somebody else's child, whether it be male or female. That's not for everybody. No. But also, I think it should be recommended because, or applauded because people don't want to do it.
Right.
I mean, not a year, 14 years.
No, and I didn't get paid a penny for that.
14 years. But also, right, you told him you were depositing those, you were making deposits, right?
Right. Exactly.
You're making deposits. So now, again, you tell him the same thing. Deposit, but this is the way you get your award too. And that's the bigger picture of life, right? Because that's how you get that feeling and that kind of, okay, hey.
Yeah.
You know, your trainer rests in peace, but he's probably like, okay, look, hey, I see it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a dope thing to do, man. I applaud you for that and paying it forward to the young fella but also keeping them straight. Because, I mean, as we know, other things, kids can be other things, right? Doing other things, certain ways, man. And big props to you. Yes. And we talked about that. And even right now, I'll talk about that a little bit real quick, Zoe. Just how do you limit those? Because I know, bro, you got a swag, you got style, you got the full smile, bro. I mean, you're known in the city or anyway, off top, boxing or not, but then now just through social media stuff, how do you really get away from that as often as you should to focus on what you want to do?
You know, I think it's definitely kind of just being tunnel vision. You know, like I said, just like basically if I'm not at home, if I'm not in the gym, I'm at home. I don't go out to parties. I don't do none of that. So it's like I'm a homebody if I'm not in the gym, which most of the time I'm in the gym. So, you know, distractions never really get to me. Like I said, just being tunnel vision, you know, nothing can get me distracted. You know, people say never, but I won't get distracted.
Well, also, when you know where you want to be at, what you want to do. It's not coming this realm, it don't need to be in here. It don't need my vision.
For sure.
Coach brought it before. I know I saw it on the news. Running, were you in Sacramento, South Side, North Side? Where you running when?
I was actually, it was like 2-3 miles from my house.
From the house, running around. Was it early morning?
Like afternoon. 2 in the evening. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Afternoon. So after midday. I mean, like I said, and gentlemen, like having a good heart and just taking a run, exercising. You find a purse, pick it up, find the money in it. It was ID in there as well.
Yes.
So, and like we know, man, but I know why you did it. But how rewarding it was for her to get that back, and because I'm sure, like you said, I believe in the interview she was just. I mean, it could be ecstatic. It was tough, not knowing, but just to see that accomplishment and the relief on her face. Did you actually get to give it back to her personally?
So I didn't. She was actually gone.
Okay.
But after I got done with my run, let my body cool down and stuff, I went over there, and her neighbors see me at her door. So I was letting her neighbor know like what happened and stuff. And then she's like, "Oh wow, that's great. You're a gentleman." And then she wanted to reward me. She gave me $50.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to just take it. I didn't do it for the money.
Yeah.
So I gave her 2 of my shirts because I sell my shirts for $25 a piece.
Okay,
so
cool.
I kind of like
Yeah.
Try to give her money for it.
There you go.
So then one of her other neighbors came out, and then she was explaining to her neighbor, but I had to get back because I had to get to the gym. I'm not gonna be late to the gym. We put these hours in.
Yeah.
So that's how that kind of went.
That's
and you know, I just thought of it of what would I want somebody to do if it was me, or if it was somebody I knew or I was related to. You know, I would want them to do the same thing. So I didn't need a reward to show for what I did.
Yeah, man, that's definitely a blessing. And I'm sure you saved her a lot of heartache and pain. But also, again, there's another deposit. It just came in different forms.
Right. For sure.
But now you probably got a supporter for life. I know she's rocking a t-shirt. She, you know what I mean? Like, you probably got a supporter for life. And that's the dope thing, man, about doing good things, good karma, putting good vibes in the air, stuff like that, too. So at the end of every show, stuff like that. Actually, no, before we end it, though, what's next, though, bro? Get ready. Because, I mean, springtime for me, I know it's busy, but like, what you guys got next? What you plan? Like, they just got back in town today from grinding. You know what I'm saying? The young fella said, hey, coach, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna fly in. I'm like, hey, you know, if you can't make it, but he's like, no, I'm gonna be there. What's next? What's on the agenda for you guys coming up, man? On the calendar that we can share people, because I definitely make sure they lock in and tap in with you.
We back down to Southern California every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But we fly out for Cleveland, Ohio. April 20th. We'll be there April 20th till March 3rd.
April 20th till March 3rd.
It's USA Boxing National.
Till May 3rd.
May 3rd.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
USA Boxing National Qualifier. Nationals. So we got to win this.
Okay. Yeah.
Bring it back home.
Now, is that a nationally televised event too?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys tap in. Yeah, follow Young Dude. Like I said, but before then, I'm sure once they post everything, I'm definitely gonna re-blast it out so we can all be on our TVs and our links and watching stuff like that, man. So, as you're getting prepared for the national qualifiers, I'm going to just be clear. After the qualifier, is there something else after that? When's the next actual, because you're qualifying for something, when's that? What are you qualifying for?
You qualify for the USA Nationals in December.
Okay.
But in between that, the Golden Gloves start in June. And that carries, you got to win Northern California, then state, then regional. Then the Nationals are in Oklahoma in August, I believe. Then there's another national tournament. It's not a qualifier, it's just a Nationals in Kansas City in July. But what the qualifier is for, it's for December. Mm-hmm. You got to qualify top three. I believe it's top three, and you go to Nationals in December. And this is 2023 will be prior to an Olympic year. Mm-hmm. So you win there, you make USA Boxing Olympic team.
And that's the goal.
That's
get to the Olympics.
Yes. For right now, yes.
Get to Olympics.
Yeah, that's
so potentially from now till this, did we say December was the last one this year?
Yes.
How many potential fights could he
between the four I try to get him fights locally or within California. I can't get him a fight, which is fine. But between the four tournaments, if everything goes well, 20, 25, maybe 20.
So is there a certain number of cap you try to do a year, or how does that work?
Yeah. Right before COVID, we were about to take off. Okay, we're gonna go all around, Oregon, California, Nevada, and get fights. COVID happened. That kind of set us back on the number of the fights. Earlier, I know I didn't get to answer the question. It was at the beginning. You were asking what number of fights, and I said, some kids have 100.
Right.
60, 80, good at national level. Most of it, 90% of his fights, 95% of them have been at the national level against other top kids within the U.S. So the number right now is probably double of what he has, maybe around 80.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. It's busy time, man. So it's gonna get real busy for you.
Yeah.
So at the end of every show, man, like in basketball, we call it a triple threat, right? You dribble, pass, or shoot. But just in life, sports, coach, I'm gonna get yours first too, but your triple threat. What are 3 things, coach, that you would tell somebody who's interested in boxing, or just advice you would give somebody just in general that you learned from either yourself, from somebody who's taught you, or just something that you would just want to give out in the world for somebody listening who's interested in this sport to hang their hat on? I think 3 things that you kind of like, this is what my foundation is based on.
With boxing.
Yeah. Or it can be anything. Actually, it's open though. Anything doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll do boxing.
Okay.
For boxing, if you're gonna do it right.
Okay.
Even if you go into a gym and hey, I just want to train, I don't want nothing to do with sparring or fighting. That's okay, but give it your all. If you're gonna do it, give it your all.
Give it your all.
Boxing is a very unforgiving sport. You cut corners, you cheat on it. It's like a relationship. It'll never be the same, and boxing will let you know.
Gotcha.
And that's what I've always told Lorenzo. You're gonna do it. If we're gonna do something,
give it your all.
We're gonna do it 100%. And then a quote that Don Conley, my old trainer, used to say is, not everybody's going to be a world champion.
You got to realize
boxing,
that.
But all the kids that are in the gym will turn them into champions in life. Integrity, discipline, respect.
Right.
And I try to teach that to the kids that are in the gym.
Gotcha.
So basically,
that's what's up, man. Yeah. That's good. I mean, that's big. Just life lessons, right? The foundation of sports should be that anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So, what about you? 3 things, man. Because I mean, you're at the age right now. You may already know you are a role model to some kids, or you inspire some kids, but also you inspire adults to be like, hey, man, that So 3 things that you kind of hang your hat on, or kind of your foundation of you as a person, or you as a sport, whatever you want to give, man.
For boxing, I pretty much the same exact what Coach said, but for life, I would say just for in general. Before any of you make your next move, think of the choice, the chance, and the consequence. That's what life is about to me. Choices, chances, and consequences. The choice you make will be like the chances you will take for that. And then the chances you take for that might be the consequences you have to face.
Yep.
So, just before you make that next move, before you go out, before you do something, just think, is this a good choice?
Yeah.
What chances are I'm taking if I do this? And what would the consequences be?
Yeah.
So that's what I definitely think.
Choice, chance, consequence.
For sure.
You might,
3 C's.
Hey, I have to put that on a shirt, man. We about to get that and put his own name on that, man, because that's real though. If they play hand to hand, I mean, especially you got a choice even in the ring. Quick choices though. You got to think quick, because if not, that consequences for you, good or bad for him, I could get him. But it's like that's quick reaction.
Right.
That's quick, man. I appreciate you guys taking time out today for real. And it's best of luck to you, bro, man. If I definitely can catch a fight too, I'm definitely gonna catch one live and in person. But if not, I'll be tuning in, man. And again, before we get out of here, man, my condolences to anybody's family who's been affected by everything that went on last night here in SAC, downtown, but just across the world too. Stuff is going on across the world. Let's not lose sight of that either, man. We just want to get back to a better place of peace and humbleness and love, man, and just care, because it's a better place. It's a better place when we care for each other, love each other, and look out for each other, man. You guys be safe on that road, up and down the airways, in the rings, man, but also handle your business, man. You already know, man. Like I said, you got 916 on the back too, man, because we rocking with you, you know what I'm saying? You're no longer the little bro, man. You're the big little bro. So we know what I'm saying. From Coach, from Renzo, Coach JT, man. We appreciate y'all for listening today, man. 94 Feet with Coach JT. We out. Peace.
Yep, thank you, Coach JT. Thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Good job, man. Definitely dope. So it looks like he might actually got it on live.